Everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. Well, happy Monday, everybody. It is not a holiday. It's not Christmas or Martin Luther King. My kids aren't home or sick or anything else. We finally have a beautiful Monday morning that we can just dig in and talk about the charts, where we are, where we may be headed. So let's just get in and analyze the daylights out of this. I did manage to go to the gym and march up the stairs for an hour, and that is always awesome. Love Mondays. So here we are, Bitcoin. So this is the weekly chart, and since we just closed our weekly chart yesterday, this is top of mind. First of all, there is a principle in trading that technical analysts do not draw lines on charts or don't really give them much credence or don't weight them very heavily until we have 3 points. So 3 points defines a line. And the top of our descending wedge here has only had two lines. It has had this point and this point. We drew this knowing that we would probably intersect with this, and there would be some kind of something going on at that point. Interestingly enough, yesterday we finished our weekly candle, and it's very interesting that we drew this 10 months ago, and we've been watching all of this action play out, and suddenly we have a candle close absolutely perfectly right on this descending resistance. So there are a lot of things going on. As you all know, I've been waiting for a pullback. I've been watching for some type of pullback so that we can get a rational entry point into Bitcoin. And we have a couple of things happening. First of all, we do have a move up to what I would consider to be pretty strong resistance. This line, this is our third touch, and we touched it perfectly. And normally it takes us a couple of attempts before we break a line. Any line that's important is going to have a couple of attempts, and finally it'll give us a chance. We'll finally break through. And so, will we do this on the very first attempt at a line showing up? Because this line didn't show up until technically yesterday. This line doesn't exist, or at least it doesn't have the eyes of technical traders until there are 3 points. And here are the 3 points. So, are we just going to blow through this on the very first attempt? I would think that would be a little unlikely. Also, we have a 50-month moving average that is coming up right here. We have never, let me move out and get to a chart that we can really zoom out on. This is our 50-month moving average. We have never, ever, ever closed a week below our 50-month moving average. Has never happened. So not back here. We've wicked through before. This is back in 2015. We did a couple of times. We touched it again during the COVID crash, but it ended up being our support even when the 200-week didn't actually keep the bodies up. So we had wicked through here, But the first time we ever did was back on June of 2022. And if you've never if this has always been support, what do you think will happen when it becomes resistance? It's gonna, there is a little bit of a battle. I'm really bullish on Bitcoin, and I really think this market has turned around, but I don't think we're gonna do it in one shot. And where's my proof that this line is important? Well, we resisted here, 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 here. We broke above it. And when we fell back through, we had a very clear indication that there is resistance here. This move right here was very clear. I'll zoom in a little bit better. This was very clear. We kind of struggled with it through here, but this was clean as can be. Every technical analyst will look at this and go, yeah, that is definitely a rejection. So we rejected off of it here. So if we found it support, 1, 2, possibly 3, but 3 for sure, and maybe 4 times on one side of an important line, and now we've struggled with it and then hit it only once on the underside, there is likely a battle to happen. So we have a couple of things. We've got our weekly challenge here. We've got our 50-month moving average that we are just tagging as resistance. A monthly chart doesn't make much sense until you have the end of a month. So if you go to the month, it is likely that we probably won't just go through this month. We've got some work to do. 8 days left in our month. But so if I go back to the weekly, and then I'm going to head over, let's go to our one with our descending channel on it, or falling wedge, I mean. Our falling wedge is finding resistance on the top of this line. We're finding the 50-month moving average as resistance, and we have the first weekly death cross that we've ever had. Let me just fact check myself really quick. Yeah, I think we were close. This was the only other time that we got very close. It was right here, 2015. So we had a very close death cross on the weekly here, and then we exploded up and missed it. And then we have just never seen one. This is the first time ever. We don't know how we're going to react to a death cross. Normally, a death cross is lagging. So these indicators have already built up an average over the past 200 days and 50 days, and sometimes a complete change has already happened by the time this occurs. But it would not surprise me if we pulled back after the death cross and then ran up again. I think this death cross will be a total fake out. I don't think we're going to just go down to 10,000 after this. But there is some resistance that is kind of in the works here. Even if this death cross didn't exist, we have a falling 50 week that's coming into play, and we need to get above that on the weekly. So there are a couple of things. Now if we switch over to the daily, we are still in the same move. We have had no relief from our wild exponential run here, just totally straight up. I've been looking for an entry point because I would love to be long Bitcoin. I think the macro side of it shows that there's a place that we've changed momentum, and I want to be long, but Bitcoin has not given an entry point yet. Last Friday, or Saturday, I guess, we did get this candle, which is a reversal candle. And as you can see where I've kind of drawn this in, we have divergence on where we've got a falling RSI and we have a rising price action. So this is bearish divergence. Let me make my line a little prettier now that we have a data point here. Okay, so this is falling. this is rising. What this means is we're losing momentum. We had a giant move, a slight pause, and another move that was much less, a lot less strong. We have 4 more hours to go on this candle, and this is pretty much another signal that we are heading down. If we were to close anywhere looking like this, this is definitely reversal. So we've got a lot of reversals happening. We also have no end of volume. So we have a lot of high volume still. You know, see how quiet it was back here? We have twice as much volume, and we're making no progress. If we have volume, but we have no price movement, that means the bulls and bears are evenly matched. There's a lot of indecision happening. And so if I go down, I was just looking at how funny our, I'll just go to the 15-minute chart. Look at this thing. We are just all over the map, especially most recently. Look at these wild spikes and drops and this big run up and this run down. We are having a struggle. And this is where the bulls and bears are now completely evenly matched, where the bulls were in complete control before. We may finally see a bull response or a bear response. I'm looking for a bear response because I do want to be long. I think macro we want to be in, but I'm waiting for a pullback, and I want a real pullback, not a 2% move like this. We're looking for a good move back, 5-10%. I still think that the 200-week moving average is a great place to enter, and I still think it's on the table. Like I think a move like this is very possible. I think that I noticed that the fear and greed index got up to 50 today, which means there are a lot of people that have moved in. They're long, they're excited, there's a lot of enthusiasm here, and the majority of people are late. And so the people that bought in during this struggle and FOMO'd in during this pump here, they may be the first ones to get liquidated or leave the second we move back to these ranges. And especially if the news turns bearish again, people really get run around by news. So I am waiting patiently. I want to be long, but I think that the pullback will provide the perfect entry point. And I still believe that is going to happen. We've just moved up too fast, too quickly, and there are a lot of indicators with our bearish divergence as well as our weekly resistance that we are now, weekly and monthly resistance, that we are finally slowing. We are losing momentum, and some kind of pullback is on the table. It may not be very serious, but it does take time. I'm talking about two weeks minimum. I don't think we're just going to immediately turn back around, find our support, and then we're back up and we're just out of here. It's going to take some time. Markets move a little slower than that. So even so, this would be a really clean place to find support. This is at almost 21,000, so we're not too far away from that. So that's very, very possible. On a daily, the 200-day moving average is moving up, and it's at almost 19.6. So we could wick down and touch something like that, and this would be completely normal. When you kind of zoom out and you look at sort of the grand scheme of things, we're still at the beginning of this move, and a little bit of support on the way up would be super helpful. Otherwise, we're gonna pull one of these things that we did in 2019. We just decided that we'd go up without a break, and there was no significant pullback. I mean, maybe this a little bit, but really not. And then we paid for it for like 6 months. We just went down. In fact, it wasn't. Let me see how long this was. This took forever. It was really grueling. 260 days. Yeah, it was like 9 months. 9 months of just really emotional moves because we just got going too high, too fast. And I know there's a lot of people that are excited, and people have been watching for the bottom for a long time. But I'm just looking at it from a skeptical trader's standpoint. I'm always looking for a rhyme and reason. And when something is completely unidirectional, I like to wait for a non-emotional entry point. And that is exactly what I'm doing. So far, things are slowing down. Our move to the upside is losing momentum. You can see that in the bullish or the bearish divergence. And we're just being patient to see what happens. Okay, that is pretty much it. Just wanted to encourage you guys to sign up for Crypto Influencers, the free channel here. Yeah, cryptoinfluencers.com, and head to the free one here. That's kind of my home base where I'm doing everything. Also, remember that on Wednesdays I do live streaming, so you'll have to join and put comments and questions in. It always makes it fun when there's more interaction. And as a reminder, on the Pro channel, there are you can sign up for affiliates. If you share my channel, you can get paid for it. So you'll have to check that. I've put the link in the description. Those things are all happening, and I appreciate you all being here. We will be looking at this move and unpacking it every day, candle by candle, and I'm glad to have you guys along. All right, we will catch you all tomorrow. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.